I'm not using my shirt this time. Hey guys, I'm back for my supplemental footage. 3 things I always like to include in my tutorials on like protective styles and braids is one, how they hold up throughout the weeks. So I like to do a little update after like a month or 3, 4, 5 weeks, somewhere in there, just to show what they look like when they get a little messy and worn in. Because I feel like it is a little bit of a different look. It's still cute. It's just different. Like it's more natural and it kind of looks more realistic, honestly. And it's more comfortable too. They're like lighter, easier on the scalp, easier to move. They're not as tight, you know, they're grown up. In case you missed it, my first video covered the process of actually putting these braids in. So blow drying, wash day, and then helpful tools to save money and do this at home. I was just talking a lot, like a lot in that video. And it ended up running over 20 minutes. So this is my part 2 to go over things like daily maintenance and refresh tips, which are honestly most important if you want to keep your natural hair healthy in your protective styles. So yeah, this is what they look like after 3 weeks. They honestly could probably hold up another 2 or 3. But y'all, Sacred, Beyonce's hair company, they sent me some products and I already know as soon as I get them, I'm taking these out and I'm trying it because I want to see what it is like on my curly hair. Usually I would keep braids in maybe like 5, 6, or 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. Honestly, 2 months, I could do that as long as I washed it once or twice in between. But this time I'm probably gonna do just like 4 or 5. The day these products come in the mail, bop, bop. I kind of feel like in this video I spoke this into existence because the whole time I was recording, I was like, oh, I look like Beyonce. Okay, blonde braids. Like, I'm trying to look like Beyonce. This is so pretty. I look like Beyonce. Y'all, I look like Beyonce. Is that Beyonce? Beyonce, that's what I was doing in the mirror. Like, is that Beyonce? And then like a week later, I got an email from her team to try out her product. So I hope it's real. I hope it's not a scam. Where did that product go? BRB. All right, and then here's a 360. I just wanted to compare the first day the braids were in versus how it looked after 3 weeks. At first, the roots were kind of stiff because it was super neat, but after week 2, I could easily flip them to a side part and try different styles. And then besides the update for how these braids grow out, I also like to include a morning routine and a night routine just to show how you can actually preserve the hairstyle and get the most benefits from the protective style, which is to help your hair grow out. It's very easy to get braids or cornrows or twists or locks, which are technically protective styles, and not do your part and care for them day by day. And then when you take them out, a bunch of your hair falls out because it was breaking off because it was dry or overly moisturized and got weak and broke off, or even you took them out too fast and didn't detangle correctly. So I just like to include all of that because the point of these braids is to grow our hair out, not make them fall out. So okay, first off, night routine, super easy. I just use one thing. I don't spray nothing on my hair. I don't oil it. I do that more in the morning because I feel like if I put oil on my hair, it's gonna rub off on my pillow and then on my face and I'm gonna break out. I don't know. Also, usually at night, I'm tired. Like I just got home from somewhere late, or I've been working all day, or I just did my 8-step night skin routine. So yeah, I like to just wrap it up. I used to just care about keeping my natural hair neat throughout the night. So I would wrap my hair like this, you know, and just cover the top, like cover the roots. So after that, I tried wearing bonnets, but these type don't really stay on my head at all. This is like the regular one. This one definitely doesn't. I tried to get like the fancy adjustable jumbo size one. This didn't stay on my head either. But yeah, it was just funny. The thing that stayed the best on my head and actually protected my hair at night is like the smallest cap. This is the same nightcap that I use for all my styles, straight hair, curly hair, and it's adjustable. The inside is silk. I'll link exactly which one I got on Amazon. I don't know if there's a word for that, if this is called like silk cap or silk hat or something. This is the overall look of it. So that's what I sleep with at night. And it's crazy that all my braids can fit in this little thing. I just do a loosey-goosey cinnamon bun like that, and then tuck the ends in. But yeah, when I started sleeping like this at night, my braids lasted so much longer, and I realized it's because I'm actually protecting all of the braids now. This is also super convenient because my braids I always do my braids really long, like down to my thighs. Sometimes it's like annoying feeling them rubbing on my skin all night. So yeah, this has been the best for me night routine wise. And then morning routine is boom, I take this off and I only use 2 things consistently every morning: oil and castor oil water spray. But honestly, even this I do maybe every other day. I love this one though. This is one of my favorites to use for protective styles. Ooh, she's almost out. You see how the drops are really, really watery? Like it's not a thick oil. That's the oil I typically go for because, you know, I don't have really thick curls or really thick super hair, so I don't need the thickest amount of oil. Actually, I did this wrong. First step I do is I spritz my roots. I always spritz a little bit of water because oil soaks into your hair a lot better when it's moisturized first and hydrated. So I never ever put oil just on dry hair. And then after I spray a little bit of castor oil water, I go in with my blueberry scalp treatment. And I like this one because she's kind of spicy. Like I think it has peppermint in it and stuff. So it kind of tingles my scalp. And I feel like those are just the hair follicles growing right there. Honestly, this step I'm usually in a rush because I'm like running out the door for work. So I don't really sit and massage my scalp or anything, but I do try to make sure I get maybe 3 or 4 syringes full. Last thing, I do like to use some sort of like dry oil like this. This one, I wish I knew how to pronounce this brand. I always learn it and then I forget it. I think it's called Way, Hawaii. I feel like it's something different, like Way. I think it's Way, I don't know. I put this on the ends of my braids because it makes them shiny and smell good, and it just kind of smooths them down. So yeah, that's it. This is the oil I put on basically strictly for shine and aesthetic. And then the blueberry mint scalp treatment oil is what I put on my roots because it leaves it all tingly. And I honestly see a lot of results when I take my braids out from this oil. I don't know if I would say it grows faster, but I definitely experience less hair loss when I take the braids out when I'm using an oil like this consistently. So that's the tea. That's it for morning and night routine. My night routine is probably like 5 seconds, just put the scalp on. And then morning routine, maybe 2 minutes, spritz my scalp, oil it, oil the ends, and then just rub it through really quick. And then last is refreshing your hair, and I just use the same mousse that I used originally to set it. I call this refreshing because I only do this maybe every 2 weeks or before a special event to make it look extra neat, but I don't put mousse or edge control on my hair every day because I feel like that leads to a lot of product buildup and you start getting like white flakes at your scalp. You have to wash it sooner than you normally would. So for the most part, water and oil is the only thing in my hair. I definitely don't use edge control every day. First off, I feel like the braids kind of cover it, so it's not super necessary. But then 2, I just don't think edge control is very healthy for your hair. I just feel like your edges and the ends of your hair are the most fragile parts, you know, your hairline and stuff. I used to use edge control every day because I felt like that was like part of getting ready, like looking neat on your hairline. But I kind of feel like white people taught us that. You know, like why do my edges have to be super swirly curly? That's just not even my hair texture. Like my hair doesn't curl like that perfectly, you know? So I'm not gonna use all these super hard, strong products to force it. So that's how I feel about that, especially if it's at the expense of your hair's health and you start getting like a receding hairline or something. Be careful with the edge control, ladies. I don't think we need it every single day. I did want to freshen up a little bit though. I just put this on exactly how I did when I first got them done. So I focus on my roots, but I sort of run it down a little bit too to make sure that I tuck all of my natural hairs into the braid. I wrap the top in a little silk scarf like this. And for final touches, I blow dry. I like to blow dry my roots with a scarf on because it really just melts all the little flyaways and helps the mousse settle in. Then I also blow dry the bottom half of my braids because it kind of like re-straightens them and it makes them look like they were just dipped. Some people like to re-dip the ends of their hair in hot water, but honestly that's like so time consuming and I hate wet braids. Like I hate waiting for them to dry, so I just blow dry them. I put a little bit of that oil and blow dry the ends, and I feel like it makes them look brand new and super straight again. All right, and there we have it, my refreshed hair. Doesn't that look so neat? My morning routine, my night routine, and my refreshment routine to make these braids last and make sure that you see hair growth when you do decide to take them out. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, be sure to catch my next video reviewing these Sacred products sent to me by her team. Spoiler alert, I love the collection. It actually was really good quality, but just going through in more detail which products really stood out and were worth it to me. Because I know a thing or two about hair now, Pookie. I know a thing or two. Anyways, bye y'all. Also, I love you.